You already got to know two very useful packages to work with Excel data, Read Excel and GData. Now imagine this situation. You're working in a big company that uses Excel for all their analysis work. You are forced to work on and deliver these Excel files, but you want to work on the data through R, so that you can work in a reproducible way. I'm happy to tell you that there is a package that does just that, XLConnect, written and maintained by Martin Studer. He created one of the most comprehensive packages for working with Excel files through R. You can think of XLConnect as a bridge between Excel and R. That means that you can do practically any action you could do within Excel, but you do it from inside R. Editing Excel sheets, formatting data, adapting entire calculation sheets, you name it. XLConnect has a function for it. XLConnect works with XLS and XLSX files and has easy-to-use functions. To get all of this working smoothly, XLConnect depends on Java. This is totally abstracted away for us end users, but installing the package can have its difficulties. If you're starting from a reasonably clean computing environment, this traditional install.packages command will work fine. From the messaging, you'll see that it also installs the XLConnect jars package, containing Java files and class definitions that XLConnect depends on. If it wasn't installed already, the R Java package will also be installed, providing a low-level R to Java interface that XLConnect uses. If something goes wrong during installation, it's possible that you first have to install the Java Development Kit, or JDK, from Oracle's website. If things still don't work out, I suggest you Google the errors you're getting. There's quite some people using this package, so help is never far away. With our package installed, and not to forget, loaded, let's take the first step, loading a workbook into R. You do this with the load workbook function, by simply passing the name of the Excel file you want to interface to. Assuming that our cities.xlsx file is still in the current working directory, this call works. If you have a look at the structure of book, we see that it is a so-called workbook object. This object is the actual bridge between R and Excel I talked about earlier. After building a workbook object in R, you can use it to get information on the Excel file it links to. To get the names of the different sheets, for example, you can use getSheets. The result is exactly the same as the Excel Sheets function from Read Excel, a character vector containing the two sheet names. Apart from sheet information, you can also read the actual data from the sheets, like Read Excel's Read Excel function and GData's Read.xls function. Suppose you want to import the data from the year 2000 sheet as a data frame. As the first argument to read worksheet, we pass the workbook object, book in our case. The second argument, sheet, is the name or index of the sheet you want to import from. Works just like before. The cool thing here is that you can easily specify from which row and which column to start reading information. Say you only want population information for Berlin and Madrid. You can simply set start row to 3, end row to 4, and start col to 2. Because you skipped the first row, the column names are also skipped, so you should set header to false. Before we take the next step, let's train a bit with some exercises. Up to now, XLConnect isn't really blowing your mind, is it? Just listing sheets and importing data from them into R is nothing new. But XLConnect has more to offer than just importing Excel data into R. This package is an easy tool to modify the content of your workbook comfortably through R. Say you manage to lay your hands on some fresh population data from 2010 that is stored in a data frame, POP 2010. To store this info in a new sheet, we start with loading XLConnect and make a connection to the workbook. After that, we can use create sheet and pass the workbook and the name of the new sheet, like this. Now we can actually populate our new sheet with the data, for which we'll use write worksheet. The first argument, as always, is the workbook, followed by the data we want to add, so POP 2010, and finally the sheet we want to add it to. Let's use the sheet name that was specified in create sheet, but the number of the sheet, 3, would work fine as well. If you open up the Excel file though, you won't see the new sheet. You'll have to explicitly save the entire workbook to a file for the changes to take effect. You do this with save workbook, like this. I suggest you specify a new file name, cities2.xlsx for example, so you don't overwrite the file you started with. If you now check out the new Excel file, you see the additional data is in there. Awesome! Suppose that after creating this additional worksheet, you don't feel comfortable with the name you chose. In fact, you want to rename all sheets. Piece of cake, just use the rename sheet function. As usual, the first argument is the workbook, and then you pass the old name and the new name. We'll use this command 3 times to change the year with Y for 3 different sheets. Finally, we save the result again to a new file with save worksheet, cities3.xlsx. A quick peek at the new Excel file reveals that we successfully renamed the sheets. Perfect. Another Excel job would be to remove a sheet altogether. To remove the third sheet again here, for example, simply use remove sheet with the workbook and the sheet name or sheet number as arguments. If you save the workbook to a file again and open up the file, our third sheet is gone. Of course, these are pretty basic operations that you can easily do in Excel as well. But the cool thing is that you can program all of these tasks in R in a reproducible way. If you update the commands that we've used here and run them all again, one after the other, it should still all work fine. Apart from the functions I discussed here, there are also methods to style cells, getting, setting and recalculating formulas, merging and splitting up cells, the whole shebang. But let's not dive into those here and start small. Head over to the exercises and give it a try yourself.